Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Hi, this is Mike, co-host of Realistic Sustainability, the podcast, which you probably already know, but I'm also the author of A Beginner's Guide to Greening Your Life. That was the book that led to our Facebook page, our Facebook group, and, well, even this show. It offers tips on promoting your positive footprint while decreasing your carbon footprint. So, if you want to read what started all of this, get A Beginner's Guide to Greening Your Life, available on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, or just visit greeningyourlife.org for more information. Thank you for joining the sustainable movement and promoting a greener future. Hi, and welcome back to another Realistic Sustainability Educational Short. This week, I want to talk about something a little bit different. In 2016, which seems like a long time ago, Bernie Sanders came out and said, climate change could lead to war. And everybody had jokes because no one really could figure out that connection. How a change in the climate, or as the news put it, weather, could cause fights. Well, most of us know that weather isn't climate. But was he wrong? Or did he just not articulate well enough to get the point across? A lot of times in human history, we found that a lack of resources led to conflict. Some of those resources are soil nutrients, because if you can't grow food, then the citizens don't get food. There's lack of grazing land, fishing rights. One of the biggest ones is water, and I think that's an upcoming big one. What we're used to in the past is seeing wars over energy resources like oil and natural gas, and then mining rights. It's these resources that prompt governments to either trade for others or force those others into giving their resources, or simply taking the resources. Have we seen this in history? Of course we have. In the Middle East, oil. There was wars in the Middle East over that oil. Diamonds in Africa, sapphires, rubies, and even timber in Cambodia, opium in Afghanistan, ivory in the Congo. There's special resources in special places, and it quite often leads to violence. So Bernie wasn't that far off. What if the planet starts to change? What if countries who rely on natural resources start running out of natural resources? What if the fish are gone? The trees die. What if your land becomes barren? How do you take care of your citizens? Well, when those things start to disappear, governments first will always try to trade their way out of it. But what happens when you've run out of things to trade and the citizens aren't getting food or water? Well, that's what leads to war sometimes. Bernie wasn't that far off. On a changing planet, resources change. And when those resources change, bad things can happen. And we're looking at this at a global scale. But let's be honest, this isn't a new philosophy. When you withhold from some, conflict happens in the United States or any other country. When the less fortunate don't have enough, they take to the streets, sometimes to the point of violence. If there isn't enough resources, or one group withholds the resources from another group, it can lead to violence. It doesn't matter if it's a city, a town, or a country. It's how history has always worked. So remember that. Remember that at every level. It doesn't matter if it's a country struggling or a person struggling. If we aren't the ones that are there to help, sometimes we're the ones that have to defend or fight. And if we withhold from someone else, that pretty much means someone could withhold from us. You never know which side of the table you'll be on. So, if we want to be sustainable, let's be sustainable together. Sometimes sharing is the most profitable and honorable way to do things. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this short, and we'll talk to you next week.